Welcome back, everybody. Here we are in the next feature match at Mind Games. This is our standard showdown.
On the left we have Brodie, on the right we have Joseph. I believe he's manning mono green aggro. And along with him we have Brodie, who's running Boros aggro.
Yeah, these two decks are homebrew, and it's really interesting to see them in the final spot today. The mono green gave me a lot of trouble with Vine Mayor. Of course, I run mono black zombies, and there was nothing I could do against Vine Mayor.
Well, with you there, I was able to play against Brodie in the semifinals. His Boros aggro deck is particularly very difficult to play against.
I noticed it was very fast.
Well, with his hero making 1/1s with Justice Strike and his double striker, it's quite difficult to deal with early on with the amount of value he gets.
Looks like mulligan there for Joseph.
I do believe we see a keep on Brodie's side.
Yep, we do, and Joseph's going to 6.
We see some forests and I believe a Llanowar Elves. Seems a bit risky, and he goes down to 5.
Oh wow, mulling to 5. Sometimes you just got to get those better hands.
If he knows what he's going up against, then he knows.
I don't know if he realizes which deck he's going up against in this stage. I don't think him and Brodie have played each other before.
Well, you have to respect the sleeves, so you can have some idea.
Yeah, you know what? I love those full art sleeves that Brodie has. Those are old. I wish we could get those. They're amazing. But I'm a big fan of the Dragon Shield. I think Joseph's using Slate.
I do believe so. Are you excited for the new matte artworks?
Yes, the Easter Dragon artwork sleeves will be coming out in April. I think it's the second week.
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have art matte sleeves back from Dragon Shield. Also new to be released soon is the double matte from Dragon Shield. Be matte on the front and the back. All right, it's going down to 5. Scrying the top. Going to keep it there.
I see a Pelt Collector in his hand, but we see Brodie open up with a Guild Gate. See a Pelt Collector hit the field for turn 1. You see that pesky 1/1 with Vigilance and Double Strike, I see.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for his Pelt Collector to keep up unless he can get +1/+1 counters on it before, well, he starts going off.
Is it a Swift Blade Vindicator on Brodie's side? It's hard for me to tell.
I do believe so. For turn 2 on Joseph's side, we see a Growth Chamber Guardian enter the field. See a Justice Strike hit it.
Yep.
You know the value that thing could get.
There we go. He's swinging.
I do believe we have a mistrigger on Joseph's side with a +1/+1 counter on Growth
Pelt Collector, yeah. I see that.
Most likely could have turned the tide of battle.
I just screwed up big time. Crap, that's 3 triggers I missed.
No, he just caught it. He just caught the triggers he'd missed. He got 1 trigger there. Yeah, I think that could have changed things real early on.
It could be a 3/3 now, if he got lucky enough. But we see a Boros champion hit the field for Brodie. Don't really see that often.
I see a Galta coming in hand. He's a long way from casting it, though.
However, if it hits the field, he has Justice Strike in response. So honestly, I don't really see it.
Oh, did we just miss another trigger?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, we're good.
See him pass the turn. I do believe this is turn 4, if I'm correct. See a Tajik and a Glass of the Guild Pact. One of the cards I've not seen very often. However, it does make his entire field +1/+1.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Multicolored.
Aha.
So now he's a 2/2 with Double Strike. We have a Boros champion, which I believe is a 2/2 unless he pumps it up. Oh, but we see Mentor hit it, making it a 3/3 Double Strike. Wow.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, a lot of debating here.
So whenever you discover a new room, this is the gratification we're looking for.
I guess I'll take these two.
There's a really nice I do believe that is the best course of action currently.
And then I'll take.
Allowing it to mentor even more would be catastrophic. However, we could see on the crackback 4 damage heading to Brodie.
Yeah, he's wide open here.
We see a Vine Mare go off the top. We see that Joseph is currently stuck on 2 lands.
You have to make a mic.
Not very opportune when you have Land of War Elves in the deck.
So, which means whenever you try to leave this room, you roll 3 dice, and you have to get a 3+. If you fail, you lose 1 score.
You see a pass the turn.
There's an omen there. So we draw 1 step.
Yeah, this seems to be a little bit frustrating.
I could believe so.
And since that is a haunt,
I'm wondering if that Tajik will hit the field right about now.
so
Or if I do see so correctly, another Swiftblade.
Swinging in right there.
we call it a mystic
Got
elf.
3/3 double strike. And Joseph decides to block it.
And some of them are even required to win the game.
See another Swiftblade hit the field. And finally, that 3rd land hits the field for Joseph.
For the house.
We see a Poke Collector trigger off of a Steel Leaf Champion.
Oh, that's another great card.
I believe that his Swiftblade can't even block it.
No, not as long as his 2 are left. Yeah.
See another tap land hit the battlefield. And some heavy consideration. I do believe we're going to see Tajik hit the field.
Yes, you do.
And if I'm correct, he's a 4/3 with haste and mentor.
Oh, wow, that's brutal.
So roll those 3 dice.
Boros definitely is one of the color combinations I haven't seen recently, compared to Golgar and Uzi.
16? Yeah, what's
And mono decks seem to be quite frequent nowadays.
one of them with spell collector?
What do you think of
So
this?
I'm taking.
I'm not sure. Looks like that's game. Are they going to call it? Nope. Okay. He's still alive. Was he down to 2?
I believe so, if I'm looking at the dial correctly. See an adventurous impulse in hand, possibly getting off a blocker if you place it. But honestly, I don't see much of a way to get out.
Until you find
But he decides to cast it.
So others can help you and go down the coal chute.
See a Poke Collector, Crawl, Harpooner, which doesn't really do much on field. And I can't make out what that 3rd card is. But he's going to scoop it up there for game 1.
I had Galta, a Vine Mare, and a Blanchwood on. Yeah, so do some sideboard.
All right, and now we're back from sideboarding. Everybody's got their decks ready to go.
Yeah.
Game 2 of the feature match.
I'm actually very curious to see what Joseph would sideboard in this matchup, considering that he's used to dealing with control and other aggro decks.
We're getting their first 7 here.
Honestly, it's really bad to be by yourself.
I do believe we see a keep on Joseph's side.
Make a mic roll.
I think we're going to have a keep on Brodie's as well.
Roll 3
Ready?
dice.
Horse. Land. Pass.
Oh, there we go. Land of War Elves coming out.
Okay, so all down the coal chute.
Honestly, one of the more underrated cards, personally, I think, are the Go Gates,
Horse.
especially for budget decks. But we see a Steel Leaf Champion for turn 2. But let's see if he can follow it up with a Justice Strike to take it down.
Discovered the ball.
And he does.
Okay, good. So you could make
5 damage sure is enough to kill 4.
but there's an event.
Yeah, for sure. Those Steel Leaf Champions, you got to stop them because they're very hard to deal with.
But considering that I do believe that Brodie's deck can't even block him, you have to get rid of him. Another interesting card on Brodie's side, with this Swiftblade coming in with a +1/+1 counter,
only lose one
due to
tap.
it being multicolored.
Take that down a notch.
Yep, I see that there.
We see some more consistent land drops on Joseph's side, and I do believe I saw a Galta in his hand.
Oh man, this will get really interesting really fast.
We see an adapt on the Guardian, fetching him another one to hand, which I do believe he plays. I do believe he needs to reveal it as well.
Basement. Why? I don't know. You got the skull. That's not bad.
We see that there's no cut,
Tap. 2.
and I do believe he cast it.
And I will
Okay, pass the turn.
All right.
So
Let's see if he can deal with this 2/2 with double strike.
damage instead. Let's roll 6 dice for a pawn check. This usually ruins about.
Is that a Justice Strike I see in Brodie's hand?
Ha! You didn't cause it.
And it was. Now, I do believe he wouldn't trade his 2/2 against his 2/2 with double strike, but of course, 4 damage is
Where would you like to go?
especially this early on.
My turn?
Yeah.
Draw for turn?
Well, here we go. I definitely see a Galta.
See another Steel Leaf in hand, I believe. It's Game Day Plan.
Stilly?
So you just go to the tower.
And there it is, hits the field.
So you
Yep,
can
I love those Game Day
promos.
promos. They're really
But
cool.
if you fall, you stop moving.
I do believe we will see a Galta
And
turn
once you move across,
afterwards,
all we need to
considering
do
that he
is
has
it happens permanently.
10 power on the
Yeah,
field.
he's got 10 on the field.
Draw chamber card.
Galta definitely could come out next turn for sure, and that's going to be very difficult to deal with.
So,
I can't attack this.
as you go back the way you came, you see
Sure will be.
nothing.
I don't think he has removal in his deck to actually get rid of Galta if he comes out.
Well, let's see if he has a Justice Strike in hand. See a Sky Knight Legionnaire hit the field. It's a 3/3 with haste and fly. See him swing in, considering that he can't even block it.
No, not without those harpooners in the field.
So all it does is take the room you're in and move it somewhere else.
If I'm right, the Blue Harpooner will come in and kill a flying creature when it ETBs, correct?
Well, at the minimum, it has reach.
And make sure the doorways are
Bro,
But we're going to see another Growth Chamber Guardian on the Joseph side.
adapt.
Still, after adapting, he will still be able to cast Galta the same turn.
This guy's just pretty spooky. Watch out.
Rotating guard.
Oh, that's right. Galta is so hard to deal with. Such a great card in Standard.
One of the more underrated ones if you can pull it off.
Yeah, I think people kind of forget about it. But you remember it real quick when you see it hit the field.
Okay, that's not
But of course, with decks such as Simic Nexus and Turbo Fog existing, it doesn't really do much.
And there he is.
With the current metagame, it is quite difficult to run Galta. But that's at least what I see, with Vrasis Contempt running ground.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit slow for the meta these days. Things are running really quick.
One thing I would love to see is play in Modern, which I do doubt, but sure would be interesting.
Right?
Do you believe we see a Deafening Clarion in Brodie's hand, and heavy consideration on playing it? Giving all your creatures lifelink and dealing 3 to each would be most likely. However, we are going to instead see a Sky Terror, which is another underrated card in Modern, especially for Boros. Considering it is a 2-drop 2/2 with flying and menace.
you would have triggered it upon. And that's really bad
Down to 10.
We see 3 damage in the air,
I do believe it's your turn.
and let's hope that can deal with the 12 damage from Galta.
Would you like to explore a new room, or would you like to make your action?
Yeah, it looks like Galta, with Trample, is about to probably do some serious damage.
It definitely won't be minimum. But it is refreshing to see.
You open the vault.
Lieutenant.
So, inside you find 2 items. These are the 2 you get.
Yeah, it looks like Joseph only has 1 card left in hand as well. But with all that on the field, he doesn't really need any more cards.
You sure are correct. If I am correct, I see 4 cards in Brodie's hand. One of the more interesting plays I see. He has all that power on the field, but yet he just swings Galter.
Yeah, I think I would have. Well, I don't make great decisions all the time, but I think I might have swung out there to see what happened.
Honestly, that decision seems like the best right now.
I'm just scared to give Boros aggro too many turns.
Anything that's aggro with too many turns could be devastating for any deck. Do believe we see him top deck A plane. And he's still considering that deafening clearing. Considering that the lifelink will be very valuable.
Here we go.
And he's giving him lifelink. But he just sends him 6.
Last one I played with was the Dark Fiddler, where he immediately just pops out.
And if I am correct, Joseph goes down to 4.
Now you can make a move actually on the same turn. So you could discover you.
I believe Brodie's going back up to 13.
Just enough for another Galta swing. But the entire other field,
Yeah, them things are kind of.
there's a lot you have to stare down.
All right.
Oh, he's at 14.
So.
Now we see some math going on here. I think he's debating on going ahead and swinging everything out. He's only got one blocker up. I think that's game.
And he sends him in. Without the fear of Soto the Wreckage with 2 mana.
Oh, he just bumped up that 1. There we go. That's game. It looks like we're moving on to game 3.
It's really bad. Okay, and it's
What I was looking for.
but you don't gain the 1.
All right, here we go. Game 3.
Okay,
I
so
think they have sideboarded for a second time.
take Micheal to 3. Or yourself.
Oh, definitely attempt to.
After 3 fails,
Considering that this is the game to see who wins.
I know. It's on the line, folks. They're actually playing for $110 booster box. And so this is high stakes right here.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, they both decide to keep their hands, and we see a Gilgate to open it up.
Boros, let's Sharper Sanctuary.
Shaper Sanctuary.
One
an
creature I
interesting
control
card.
becomes an attack of spell or ability. I get to draw.
So whenever something targets one of his creatures, he actually draws a card.
Oh, card draw in this deck could be really hard to deal with.
Killing things ain't helping.
We see a hero.
You killing my things don't feel good.
Field. So now whenever he casts something that's multicolored, he gets a 1/1.
Let's go ahead and, if you don't mind, adventure.
Oh, wow. So this is interesting. Both decks are going off in different manners this time.
Really? Okay.
Now the card on Brodie's side was definitely an MVP in our matchup.
All right, and then I guess.
And I do believe we need to reveal what card he got off of Adventurous Impulse. See a mountain hit the field for Brody. He taps out to play a Legionnaire, netting him a 1/1 as well.
Forward.
Wow, 4 damage swinging in already.
It's only turn 3.
16. Draw for turn. Still eat.
See a Steel Leaf Champion hit on the curve. Definitely one of the more interesting plays, considering that he couldn't get it off of the Llanowar. See another Gilgate hit the field for Brodie. And some consideration on a Blast of the Guild patch. Considering that it only, well, helps one of his creatures currently, I do believe it would be best to save it.
Yep, down to 14.
He decides not to send his 1/1 and his 2/2 to death. I do believe that's a good play. The Sky Terror hits the field, netting him another 1/1. However, his entire field, I do believe, can't even block Steel Leaf.
No, Steel Leaf can still get through everything that's there.
Setting a 4-turn clock for Brodie.
Blanche.
See a Branchwood Armor, even shortening it.
Making that a 9.
We have a 9.
No trample. But no, 2 or less can't be blocked. It can't be blocked by 2 or less power. So let's go ahead and prey upon.
We have a Prey Upon hit the field, targeting the hero, which I do believe would be the correct play in this situation.
Let's swing at, buddy.
We have 9 damage to the face.
On a 4+,
Yeah, that's completely unblockable.
one and any trait turn, your choice.
I do believe a Justice Strike right about now would be opportune.
I would suggest one that does actually.
See a Boros challenger off the top, however.
Alright, Rohit, it is currently your turn. I would suggest trying to make a mind check so that you can get out.
And I believe he's going to. Yep.
Blast of the Guild Pack, giving him 2 3/3s in the air. But he decides to swing at the tokens as well. But I could see how you need to get that extra damage as quick as possible.
When you try to cross the tower, you have to make a mind check.
You see another Boros challenger hit the field, so he'll be able to mentor his next turn.
How many, what's your mind?
This should be a quick game.
3, so you
Yeah,
make it
this is moving really fast.
Interest Impulse.
With some of the decks we've seen in our feature match area, this is definitely one of the more faster matchups.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a-
much quicker.
It's a nice breath of fresh air.
And we've got a slight camera glitch here. You'll notice on Joseph's side, we just missed him casting those 2 creatures. And they're actually having a long discussion. And he concedes, and Boros Aggro wins 2-1.
Definitely one of the more fun matchups to watch play out. But we see some cards in Brodie's hand which could have turned the tide even further.
Yeah, it was all over. He had all the damage on that side of the field, and Joseph was out of options. It was a really great matchup, fun game to watch. And anybody out there wanting to come out and get their match featured, hey, come on down to Mind Games and play a standard matchup, and you could see your game featured here on our YouTube channel.
And if you don't know already about our podcast, go ahead and check that out. We have many weekly discussions about current MTG topics.